Me on a solo trip to Spain, I decided to go to Malaga, got settled in and headed straight out to a local restaurant in the old town. I was recommended the chef's special dish, which was an Andalusian beef shin lasagna. It was the best lasagna I have had in a long time. It literally melted in my mouth. I can still taste it now. After that, I went for a little wander. The cathedral was so beautifully lit, and it was then straight on to day 2. This strip is so much fun. There's lots of live music, the sun was shining, there's little market stalls all dotted along where you can get your holiday trinkets, and the boat stock here too, which is quite cool to see. There are also some restaurants and bars along here, but I wouldn't really recommend them because they were very touristy and overpriced. I had to go to the shops to look at all the local wines and olives and meats and spices, and you can't forget the desserts either. I headed back to get ready for an evening of wine and food tasting tour, and this I could not recommend enough. It was such a great way to meet people, especially if you are solo traveling, but also a great way to learn much more about the Spanish food and drinks and culture. Here we tasted the famous Iberian pork and chorizo and meats and paired them with different wines and cheeses. This was honestly not enough for me. I could have eaten everybody's boards, to be honest. It was so good, and it was so interesting to know how each of them are made and cured. And then we went on to a few other different local spots. Again, a great way to see hidden places that you wouldn't necessarily find if you were just traveling, generally. I would definitely say that this made the experience, this was a highlight. Then on to the next day, I did some touristy things, went to the theatre, looked around the shops, and then it was time for dinner again. These prawns were incredible. Again, gambas pil pil and croquetas are a Spanish special dish, famous dish in Spain. The croquetas I had were pork and apple, mushroom and stuffed chicken, and I've never ever tasted something that melts in your mouth so well. I will definitely list all of the restaurants and places to visit in the caption. On the last day, I had a wander again and treated myself to some pasta and a glass of wine. I know it's not Spanish, but it's pasta. Off to the beach, and that was the end of the trip.